So imagine this. You get to slash your operational costs and boost your firm's capacity at the same time. I mean, that's the big promise of using an offshore CPA team, right? But here's the thing. There's a catch. If you don't have the right training and alignment, that dream can turn into a total nightmare of costly errors and big compliance issues fast. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to make sure your offshore team becomes a powerful growth engine, not a liability.
All right, so here's our game plan. We've broken this down into 5 key parts. First, we'll dig into the amazing promise and the hidden dangers of offshoring. Then, I'm going to give you the complete training blueprint, followed by some real actionable ways to put it into practice. After that, we'll talk about how to keep that quality high for the long run. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at this whole thing not as a cost, but as what it really is, a critical investment in your firm's future.
First up, let's get right to the heart of it. This is all a balancing act, you know? You've got this massive opportunity on one side, but it comes with some very real risks if you don't have a solid plan in place.
This slide just nails the two sides of the offshoring coin. On one side, you have the promise, turning your offshore team into a strategic asset that seriously amps up your efficiency and lets you scale. But then there's the other side, the peril, a potential minefield of expensive mistakes, compliance headaches, and new inefficiencies that could really hurt your firm. The big takeaway here, you can't get to the promise without facing the peril head-on.
Okay, so how do you actually navigate that minefield and unlock all that potential? Well, it all comes down to having a rock-solid training blueprint. So let's dive in and see what that actually looks like.
A really great training program is built on these 5 pillars.
I mean, of course, you need that deep technical knowledge of U.S. accounting standards and tax rules. That's a given. But what's just as important are your own firm's specific ways of doing things, your audit standards, and, this is a big one, the soft skills like communication and client interaction that make everyone feel like one seamless team.
Think of U.S. GAAP as the official rulebook for American accounting. And trust me, it is not something you can just pick up as you go. It's a complex system that demands a deep, specific understanding. For your offshore team, mastering U.S. GAAP is completely non-negotiable. It is the foundation that everything else is built on.
So knowing what to teach is half the battle, but how you teach it, that's what actually makes the knowledge stick and drives real results. This section is all about the practical, hands-on methods you can use to bring that blueprint to life.
This slide lays out a really powerful 5-step process. You start with a really structured onboarding. Then you move into interactive, hands-on workshops. And then you build in continuous learning and tech integration. But you want to know the secret sauce? It's that last one, the quality feedback loop. That's what makes sure your team is constantly improving and refining their skills in real time.
Okay, so you've trained your team. You're all done, right? Well, not so fast. The real challenge is keeping those standards high for the long haul. This next section is all about how you build a culture of excellence that actually lasts.
To really maintain quality, you need a few key systems. First, you've got to define what success even looks like with clear metrics, what we call KPIs, like accuracy rates and turnaround times. Then, you have to document your processes so everything's consistent. You've also got to create a culture where constant communication and ongoing learning are just part of the day-to-day.
And here it is, one of the most powerful tools for building quality right into your workflow, a multi-level review process. Look at this table. It shows you how to create these built-in safety nets. The work gets checked first by the offshore team member. Then it goes to a senior reviewer for a much deeper dive. And finally, it lands with a U.S. manager for the final compliance approval. This kind of structure systematically catches errors and reinforces high standards every single time.
I know, putting all this into practice can feel like a pretty huge task. And that's why it's so important to see this not as a cost, but as an investment in your firm's success. For a lot of firms, the smartest way to make that investment is to team up with an expert.
A good partner can be an absolute game changer here. For instance, a specialized firm like KMK Associates LLP can help you implement this entire framework from top to bottom. They can handle everything from figuring out your unique needs and designing custom training to putting those crucial quality controls and KPIs in place that we just talked about. That frees you up to focus on what you do best, serving your clients.
When it's all said and done, it comes down to this really powerful idea. When you invest in your people, when you set and maintain high standards, your offshore team stops being just a staffing solution and transforms into a true, powerful engine for your firm's growth.
So, the question I'll leave you with is a simple one, but it's a really important one. Looking at your own operations, your own training, your own quality controls, is your offshore team truly set up for success,